When I revisited my Rocket Popsicle cake, we asked you guys what popsicle you'd want me to make, and you all voted for this baby, which is not sold in Canada. So Helena and I flew to New York City just to try these popsicles. Okay, fine, I had to do some crime scene kitchen press stuff, but that was secondary, I promise. I did some appearances, so I was on the Sherry show, and I had to make a cake to present to Sherry, so we actually went to make the cake at Paris Baguette. They helped me out.
This guest has been called the Beyonce of cakes. She's also a judge on Crime Scene Kitchen, and she's here with a special cake for me. Please welcome Yolanda Gampp. Yolanda! Hi!
To figure out what was baked, presented to myself, Curtis Stone, and Joel McHale in order to win $100,000. That's right.
So Crime Scene Kitchen is on Fox every Monday. Right now, it's at 9, 8 Central. It's a really fun show, and I suggest you watch. We're gonna do a giveaway. If you wanna win a How to Cake It prize pack, then you need to go check out my Instagram at Yolanda_Gampp because we're doing a mystery dessert giveaway. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you, it's delicious. I ate the whole thing. I ate every single bite. It was so good. I wish we could have brought them here, but.
Okay, so let's send a message to Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, because no one's bothering him about any other Canadian problems right now. Okay, so here was my first concern, and I have something to share with you. I did something on the channel that I really haven't done before. For the white part, which is cake, I know that my vanilla cake, because it's so buttery, is not this white. So I made this cake out of cake mix. I called up my friend Betty. She's not really my friend. She's my nemesis. I told her in my yearbook that I was coming for her. So I came for her, and I was like, Betty, we need to collab. It's not a real collab. We just bought cake mix.
Betty has no idea.
Betty has no idea. Betty isn't even real. Then I cut out the shape, and I just carefully removed the caramelization on the top of the cake. Then I flipped it over, carefully removed the caramelization on the bottom, and then I did the exact same thing using the template to the second white cake. Then I baked 2 boxes of white cake mix also, but dyed it red for the center. And the reason I decided to do that is because my cakes are engineered to be much more sturdy because of what I do with them. And I was worried that if I laid sort of my denser, heavier cake into the cake mix, it would flatten the cake below it. And then I also thought, the truth is, it does sort of have that slightly artificial flavor, and that's what cake mix tastes like. The next thing I need to do is cut out the opening for the red cake to go inside. You understand?
No.
You know what Helena said to me? She will allow me to say that this, in fact, is a beginner cake. So for this, I cut out a smaller template. I laid that template on top of the flatter side of my white cake, and then I used a small serrated knife to cut down. Now I don't want to cut all the way down through, so I'm just trying to cut sort of halfway down. Now here's where it gets tricky. Normally you would see me sort of scoop out cake, but I need the bottom to be flat, because if I scoop out too much, first of all, the cake is not that deep. And secondly, the red cake that lies inside is a layer of itself. You know what I'm saying?
How is this a beginner cake again?
So what I did is I made a cut into one side of the cake and carefully cut across. I don't want to layer the cake because then I'll never be able to lay that thin cake ring back down, especially because it's cake mix. It's even more tender and light. You'll see footage, Orhan. Orhan looks super confused today. And he has heard me talk about a lot of cake. I'm going to simple syrup the 2 white cakes with plain simple syrup, and I'm simple syruping into the chamber. And then I'm gonna simple syrup the red cake with my strawberry simple syrup. I tried to find strawberry juice, okay? But as we all know, strawberry juice is really hard to find. So what we did is we bought fresh strawberries, pureed them, then I strained that. But strawberries, the seeds, or the ovaries, as we learned when I caked a giant strawberry, if you weren't here then you can check that out. They're so small that they went through the sieve. So I tried to strain it as best I could, and then I made a simple syrup with the strawberry juice, sugar, and water, boiled it. Once it was boiled, I strained it again, and in fact, off camera, I strained it again through a cheesecloth, and that's the only way I could get the tiny seeds out, and even then, a few of them were like here and there. So now all the cakes are syruped. And what I need to do is crumb coat the red strawberry cake. I crumb coat the sides and the top. I put it in the fridge to chill. And then when it was chilled, I laid a silicone baking mat on top, flipped the cake over and crumb coated the other side. Dry cake won't just stick to cake. So I need something in between as glue, and I also wanted to lock in the crumbs, which is the purpose of a crumb coat, and the strawberry syrup and flavor just to the red cake alone. Now I can start to assemble this cake. So the first thing I do is take one of the white cakes with the chamber, then I carefully pick up the red cake and lay it inside. Then I filled a piping bag with some Italian meringue buttercream, and I just piped a tube of buttercream around that white border, because I need the top cake to stick to it. Piped it to get the buttercream on, and then I spread that buttercream all the way around. Now here's the tricky part. I'm scared of this because I need to flip that second white cake.
Imagine there was a cake board that has its own gravity. So
I could flip a cake and it wouldn't fall off?
It won't fall off, and there's a button.
Yeah, and then
So
you
press
release
it.
it.
Okay.
We're gonna get NASA on this. Once again, I'm sure they're not doing anything. So between the Canadian Prime Minister and NASA, they don't have anything else to do. They are going to help me invent cake boards with their own gravity.
Yep.
So you know when they say never? I'm saying never. I need to crumb coat the entire thing.
How was it to work with cake mix at this point?
It's very light, like thank goodness this is the cake I'm making. Even crumb coating it, I could tell how soft the cake was. It's super light, super fluffy, really crumbly. It doesn't hold structure well.
Betty.
Betty, work on your structure, okay? So now I need to work on this coating, this signature cake coating. If you notice, the cake coating is the color of my vanilla cake. We have a freezer with like leftover cake because sometimes, you know, we have like a little bit of batter, and so we always just bake little cakes, which we use for different videos. So Helena and I collected all the little vanilla cakes that we had in the freezer, and then I sliced them all really thin. And then I laid them all on different trays, baked them really low at 200 degrees for about an hour. Then I took the oven off and left them in the oven overnight. So I'm essentially dehydrating it. You'd be shocked at how dry it becomes. And what I'm going to do is just use my hands to crumble it all up. And then something else we picked up in New York, we went to Trader Joe's and Target. We got freeze-dried strawberries. So I took those strawberry slices and crumpled them up in my hands, same way. I'm just gonna sift out the dust with my hands and lay it all on a tray. Now I need to get my cake and ice it. Again with Italian meringue buttercream, and then coat it in this mixture. But I do need to coat both sides. So I'm going to first ice the sides and the top, coat it in the crumbs. Then I have to flip the cake over, ice what was the bottom, which is now the top, and just coat the entire cake in crumbs. And there's one last thing, it's not a popsicle right now, it needs a stick. I just used a handle of a spatula to like pilot the hole, but even that, I could tell Betty's cake was so soft. It just went in like nothing. But wait, we're not done. I gotta do one more thing before I present this. Helena was like, you're taking the bite out before Beauties? I said, yeah, because that's how it's presented. So I used just a big circle cutter. I got out this perfect bite. Okay, Betty, it tasted good. It tasted the way this tastes. Would I build Lloyd out of your cake? No.
You could do like a defeated Lloyd. That's
Good humor. I also have good humor. Just ask them. Guys, do you think I have good humor? Leave it in the comments. If your answer is no, don't bother commenting. I actually can't wait to go back to New York because I get to go with the Paris Baguette winners. And I'm gonna eat another popsicle. That's right. So guys, what's the next popsicle? You wrote it in the comments, I answered. Is there another popsicle I don't know about? How come I always walk out that way? Why do I have a preference?
Because there's a wall right beside you over there.
I'm gonna jump out the window. Bye guys, I'll see you next week.